How do you think most people decide what again to stop their sex life? Men and women say that after 55 years, men can no longer because their bodies deformed, belly is formed, problems with the penis are ise, and women enter menopause, their libido drops, according to term, vaginal dryness appears. And, in effect, sex is not the first thing you need to do. As a rule, this applies to those couples who have hit sexual aversion. What is it? Most women have never experienced an orgasm, especially those older women, have already given up and say that I tolerated it in my and now I have a legal basis to stop this. And then the answer cares if a man has a strong constitution. He begins to suffer because his moral convictions do not allow him to go look for someone, but again, no one has cancelled STDs. This is a sexually transmitted disease, but it is a natural fear in humans, both in men and women. Quite prosperous people can get sick with ciphers and IDs. This is not something that those who lead a promiscuous sex life and it is written on their faces. Therefore, people in couples are afraid of elementary diseases. GT is precisely those couples who did not have sex much that stop doing it after P5. I strongly recommend you watch the series Sexual Reeducation, which shows for a moment and their love and very beautifully filmed scenes from the sex life of older people, and the actors played brilliantly. Everything is visible on the face. What emotions they experience, how much pleasure this raving effect brings them. In effect, my friend, a psychiatrist, says that if you can't learn languages, at least have sex. WHO ideas she says this. At conferences, they talk a lot about how regularly having sex and continuing to do it in older age prevents memory and thinking impairment, which happens after P5. I totally see this at an appointment when a person comes and says, I seem to have done something and I forgot. I wanted something. Just went, left the keys, did everything automatically. Concentrated attention still actually comes out and then immediately forgot. That is, the memory of a goldfish appears. I remember her for 3 seconds. Then everything dissolved and I forgot about it. Having sex significantly improves blood circulation in the brain and increases your ability to remember her. It's up to you to decide. Either you learn languages and solve puzzles or you enjoy it and indirectly also influence your brain. In effect, those couples who hit active sex in their youth and in more mature age, they move from an active life and sexual position into older age. I have couples who got married at 72 years old and they say I have never had such fantastic sex. What could interfere with having sex? Function gives birth to an organ. That is, the more often you have sex, the more often women secrete or pregnant. Even at an older age, the easier is for a man to get an erection. Some even experience the return of morning erections. You see, this function is revived, and this 70-year-old couple, each of them, hit a 15-year break in sex. I always say that even if you have 2 Mondays left to live, you can live them. How you want them, you can become better. In relation to yesterday's self, today, but it will still affect older people. When having sex, it's a banal change in the musculoskeletal system. Not all positions are cerebral. For example, it is WHO the Kama Sutra was created. The Kama Sutra was created for correct biomechanics. Look at the pictures. This is not for variety, but to ensure that the vulva is in full contact with the penis. This is precisely what people are shown. A cheat sheet. If a woman does not experience an orgasm in this position, if a man's erection is failing. In this position, TROI people like this and like this. That is, this is a guide to action so that both people finally get pleasure. Because there is no limit to perfection, and people in ancient times already understood that this is a resource for a person. So, a change in the musculoskeletal system. When you can no longer do what you did at an earlier age, Usitos pasitians, the giants do not turn correctly, you are back here somewhere, flexibility has decreased under the knee, and the tendons are already pulled together, so they can no longer stretch as much. There are anatomical pillows that especially for sex. Well, I think this is more of a marketing ploy. And you can use any pillows to put under your legs. Any uncomfortable position causes discomfort. When discomfort occurs, arousal decreases. The second thing that could be the man's dryness. Here, lubricants are the only ones that can help, herbicide ones, because they are well absorbed, and it is advisable to take a hypoallergenic lubricant. The third thing is insufficient erection, but there is a solution. If at a young age, a man mainly responds to sexual stimulation for erections, then at an older age, he has more of a reflex erection. What should be done? Irritation of the inner thigh, irritation of the area around the base of the penis, because many men are not sensitive. The base of the penis and shaft are sensitive. Testicular massage, sacral massage, and also visceral massage is a massage of the visceral organs. When a man's blood circulation in the provrus improves, as for women always respond willingly if the right is found for them. Well, to summarize all of the above, there are wonderful, brilliant films that show that sex life at an age prolongs life and prolongs a positive emotional background, and people get a wonderful pleasure. A smile never leaves their faces. They start riding a bike, they start going to dances, singing in a choir. This is all happening plus. As for your sex life, I wish you to maintain sexual pleasure for a long time. Thank you for watching the video.